set groups to all the riders and do training twice a month for the riders, and obviously the onboarding stuff is quite important to ensure that the riders are comfortable, because there's a lot of behavioral change in doing from a more informal rider operating on a roadside stage to operating on a platform. Alongside our financing, we provide comprehensive insurance. We also provide lessons to get a driver's license. And then beyond that, we manage the onboarding, the KPIs. Of course, the most important member of the partnership is the end rider. So the rider actually gets a low cost of entry into having an electric vehicle. They earn immediately on the full platform and continue to earn as they're paying off their motorcycle. And ultimately, after 24 months, about 90% of our customers are on 24-month repayment plan. The other 10% are on 18 months. And once the bike is paid off, it's fully owned. And of course, they're able to get more margin in their pocket at the end of the day. Like I said, about 3,500 bikes on the road as of today. We're targeting to get to closer to 6,000 by the middle of next year, so about a year from now. 55% of our sales from the beginning of the partnership in early 2025 to now have been through the Bolt partnership, with the remainder being direct B2C. And we've seen 180% year-on-year growth of high volumes on the electric fleets on Bolt. So, like I said, this is a ride-hailing partnership. I think we've got a lot of good learnings coming out of this that we can now apply to the platform for deliveries as well. To date, we do have a few B2B fleet partners, but we're primarily selling 10 to 30 bikes to a private business that's operating their own deliveries. Yeah, very much looking forward to and having conversations around expanding this partnership model into delivery.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Really interesting. Actually, let's now move over to Brazil. Very excited because we haven't heard from Brazil today. So very excited to have Frank with us from the Brazilian Coastal Service and give you a presentation on how they're using the technology. Very excited.
Hello everyone, my name is Frank. I work at Brazilian official post office company. I try to explain in English, my Spanish is terrible. This study of using bikes in last languages is vertical. It's also called. First, I need to talk about Brazil. It's a huge country, about 5,000 cities. This component is the place that we have postal agencies. You can say clearly that our economy, our population is basically the southwest of the country. São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, there. In the north, we have Amazon region. Some cities, there is no roads, only rivers to connect to the other places. So it's a huge challenge to make logistics in Brazil. We have a lot of problems of the structure, several things. And to make the postal service in general, all around the world, we have a very beautiful social mission that is connecting the people all around the country and with other countries in the world. In Brazil, we have about 80,000 employees. It's about 50,000 postmen to make this thing happen. It's about 10,000 postal agencies, about 5 million letters, and almost 2 million parcels every single day around the country. So this image is just to show you that it's not easy. It's a big company, a traditional company, public company in Brazil. And every time we move this kind of project, innovation projects, this kind of company, it's a big challenge. Our fleet have our reality in Brazil. It's and I have attention for this number. You have today more than 4,000 electric bikes. A few time ago, this number was 0. Okay? And we have this number of the project. In my object today is showing how you can arrive at this number actually one of the biggest, maybe the biggest fleet of electric bikes for logistical purpose Brazil. Okay. So, but I need to talk about the history, a little bit of history. This picture is it's from 1808 of a postman from Royal Mail in England. Royal Mail is the first, maybe the first movement all around the world to use bikes in logistics to deliver letters. So, almost 150 years ago. So, just showing that the bikes and the Correios and the post office companies has a partnership for a long time. So, this equipment is important part of our history. Okay. Not only in England, that photo is from 1908 in Brazil. It's a lot of postmen using bicycles. That time, it's funny because the postmen don't know how to use bikes because there's no bikes in society. That time, Brazilian Correios, we make an agreement with the Brazilian Army to teach how the postmen how to use the bikes. If people don't have bikes at home, like the streets. So more than 100 years ago, and another kind of three wells for people that use of the 80s. So there's a long story of using this kind of equipment in the postal service. Okay, next one. Just as some numbers, we have almost 50,000 kilometers per day using bikes in Brazil. 27 states. But we have one problem. Like I showed in the beginning of my presentation, we have 12,000 motorcycles. Okay? In the past, we have 10,000 conventional bikes and 1,000 motorcycles. Today, we have 4,000 conventional bikes and 12,000 motorcycles. The motorcycle is basically because of two elements. The first one is the traffic in the big cities. You can use cars in São Paulo, almost relatively all around the world. The big cities have big traffic. So you use motorcycle to use the streets in this movement. And e-commerce especially have a pressure. We need delivery hours. The agreement level is really hard to control. So, so you have a problem using a lot of motorcycles. So you have a problem of CO2 accidents. The cost in Brazil, but the driver of motorcycles, they have a bonus. The salary is 30% more than delivery. It's good for the employee, but the water object is not. We need to study a solution for this. And I think that we make in a good way. We make science. How to solve this problem? So I make science. The first step, we use the support of GYZ. It's a German organization for green energy. And they help us in these studies. The university, public university in Rio de Janeiro, the Brazilian Association of Pilots in São Paulo, and some startups help us to bring some solution for this problem. The first, then we make some tests. Okay? The first one is like equipment, very popular in Europe, Netherlands and Germany. We needed long jump. It's a bike, a huge capacity. But in Brazil, for our relative Correios, it's not so well because our roads are cycle roads are so small and the equipment is big. So we make a second prototype. It's renamed long tail. So it recommends for two lines of conventional bike, but you electric motor. And this is a success. But the final tests indicate physically because in Brazil we don't have big industries of electric bikes. So we need to make a prototype that looks like conventional bike, so Brazilian industry can provide us the equipment. So this is our bike technology, 4,000 bikes that you display. The Correios from Brazil, it's one important movement to develop the industry of e-bikes in Brazil. Okay? We bought 4,000. It's a huge quality. Okay? This video is just 20 seconds. That works. No problem. This video, I can just translate for you. It's a postman, a girl named Vanessa from a small city in Brazil. She was pregnant. I was receiving an electric bike, and she was crying, emotional because the equipment is a demonstrator of respect. So like he almost know the electric bike. It's for Vanessa. Vanessa is the main purpose to improve the life quality, the work for our enforcement around the world. Okay. Our attention. So we have an equipment. We have a nice equipment that we test, and make a lot of prototypes and make scientific articles about this. So how to make this to grow? It's not so simple. A guy, a driver that used to drive a motorcycle by gasoline, if you change it to electric bike, there is a natural rejection. So the two ways of using electric bike in. The first way, we change conventional bikes by electric bikes. Because if the postman uses a conventional bike, the structure in the city, in the region that he delivers, okay. So there is an improvement of productivity. This is the main subject of my master's degree. I love so much the project that I did at university and did my master's degree about this subject. So we improve the productivity, we improve the velocity of the delivery. It's, in theory, you don't have the problem of the structure in the city because the postman used conventional bike before. Okay? So we delivered 2,680 bikes. There were two, we changed motorcycle for e-bikes, but it's not directly. The regions that demand new motorcycles, you don't improve motorcycles. We improve new bikes because you don't change the equipment. The postman don't reject. And it's about 1,500 equipment. Okay? And that's that. So it's an evolution of the equipment. Nowadays, we change the reduce of the conventional motorcycle and continue improving the electric bikes. So 3 years, they have this project, electric bike Correios. We were in the second place in the Brazilian smart city premiation. It's nice because there is a federal government electric bus, and our project with electric bikes is one important project for mobility in Brazil this year. So, study is the new improvement of the new equipment. Electric bikes. The new team is studying the equipment for improvement the and that's my best. And the next step with the support of our 5%. Say thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's enjoy the meditation. Say why. We signed last week contract agreement, and we grow our student to next step of use of e-bikes. So my last one. I think that's a good phrase. The main objective of my presentation, the bikes for more than 100 years they are transforming the postal sector. And now electric bikes can help to transfer to move it to the future. Okay? Sorry for the very English. So,